Sarah, can I just confirm if there's anybody from the appellants here?
Yes, there is. We do have Mr. Davis in attendance.
Okay, great.
Okay. Hello, everybody. Thank you for being here today. This meeting of the Property Standards Committee is being called to consider appeals from the order to comply issued by the City of Kitchener's enforcement staff pursuant to Chapter 665 of the City of Kitchener Municipal Code, the Building Code Act, and the Statutory Powers and Procedures Act. My name is Charlene, and I'm here today with Brian Santos and Mr. Assad Mohammed, and we are very glad to be here today. We will be hearing Appeal 2021-12 of 39 Fairbank Place. This hearing is a formal process where those giving evidence will be required to make an affirmation as to the validity of their testimony. However, the committee tries to conduct itself and the hearing in a relaxed fashion. The committee can confirm or uphold the orders as it currently stands, as we have the authority to do that, as well as rescind the order, modify the order, or grant an extension of time to comply with the order. The appellant will receive the committee's decisions in writing from the committee administrator after the meeting. I'd like to introduce the matter of Appeal 2021-12. And Gloria, would you like to take the?
Certainly, thank you.
Thank you.
So in regards to appeal number 2021-12 for 39 Fairbank Place, I know Mr. Davis is in attendance, and I just wanted to confirm that Mr. Davis did reach out to our legal staff last week and advise that the work had been completed. We have since had the officer, Rick Potvin, respond out, and he has confirmed that all of the items on the order to comply have been complied with and completed, and we have since closed our file. Therefore, unless Mr. Davis has anything he wanted to add to this, we are satisfied at this point that the matter has been complied with and we've closed our file.
Perfect, thank you. Sarah, 39 Fairbank Place is represented here today. Do we want to swear him in?
He does not need to be sworn in unless he plans on giving any testimony.
Thank you.
If I may, through the chair, Mr. Davis, can you please confirm your understanding that the matter has been complied with and that the file is closed?
So thank you very much. And sorry, just to introduce myself to the committee, my name is Eric Davis. I'm a municipal and planning law lawyer with Miller Thompson. I'm here today as counsel for Ms. Catherine Steinberg, who's the owner of 39 Fairbank Place. I did receive communication from the city this morning indicating that the city has closed its file in relation to this matter and that my client has brought the property into compliance, which we appreciate. The only piece that I would like to mention, though, is that there's one part of the order that I would like to raise to the committee's attention, and it would be my submission that this one part of the order be rescinded. Even though our client has brought the property into compliance, our appeal is still valid of the property standards order itself, though it's the issues therein have been addressed by the city's own admission. But there is one part of the order that we would request that the city take a look.
Through the chair.
Yes.
Sorry to interrupt you, Mr. Davis. If you would like to speak to the committee further about rescinding a part of the order, I will ask you to first, before we get into any testimony or further discussion on the matter, I would ask you first to raise your right hand and state or confirm that any testimony you are about to provide is true and correct.
Just in advance of so doing, I would just differentiate that what I'm giving here today is not evidence, but legal argument. So I'm not relying on particular material facts. I'm just going to be pointing out a legal issue with the property standards order, and it'll make a legal argument as relation to its non-compliance. So I understand what you would normally do, which would be if a property owner or what have you is giving evidence as to what has occurred or what has not occurred on a property, that they would have to give sworn testimony. Completely understood. However, today I'm not really giving sworn testimony. I'm just making a legal argument as to why the committee should consider rescinding a particular part of the order.
Since you are still kind of giving testimony to your belief of that effect, I would still ask you to raise your right hand and swear and affirm that what you are about to explain to the committee is true and correct to the best of your knowledge.
I swear, I so swear.
Thank you.
Did you want me to continue, or did we need something else?
My apologies, through the chair. My part of the process is complete. If you would like Mr. Davis to proceed.
Yes, Mr. Davis, you can proceed. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Madam Chair. So I'd refer you to the property standards order itself. We submitted a document book on Friday. I'm not sure if the committee has been provided with a copy, but part of one of the items in that document book at tab 4, I believe, is a copy of the property standards order. And the property standards order that we're talking about has 3 elements, and I'll just call it 1, 2, and 3. The first and the third element we have no issue with. That's perfectly fine. The second element relates to the exterior lighting fixtures. And so that one says that it refers to section 665.6.5 of the property standards bylaw. Now, one thing I will say at the beginning, I understand the city of Kitchener operates by a municipal code system. When I refer to the property standards bylaw, I'm referring to that section of the city of Kitchener municipal code. Just to be clear, I know it's a municipal code and doesn't operate on separate bylaws, but when I'm referring to the property standards bylaw, I'm just referring to that. But what I think is important here is that I believe that order, so when you'll see as part of that order, it says, therefore, the unsupported and damaged sections of decorative lighting, which I believe to be the Christmas tree lights, on the exterior of the front of the house building shall be repaired in working order and refastened so as to be properly supported. Obviously, there's no issue with this anymore, and that the city of Kitchener has brought it into compliance. But I think it's important to actually look at the section of the property standards bylaw that's at issue here. It talks about exterior lighting fixtures. Okay, so that's not a defined term, it just says exterior lighting fixtures and their supports shall be installed and maintained in good repair and working order and in a safe and structurally sound condition, so that such fixtures are able to provide an adequate level of lighting so that the use normally carried out in such areas can be undertaken safely in accordance with the intended use of the area. Okay, that's what the actual section says. In my respectful submission, that section is not meant to cover Christmas tree lights. If you look at it, though it does not define in the bylaw what exterior lighting fixtures means, it clearly is referring to exterior lighting fixtures and their supports. It talks about installed and maintained. I mean, Christmas tree lights, I would argue, are not installed, and maintained in good repair and working order and in a safe and structurally sound condition. And then it says, so that such fixtures are able to provide an adequate level of lighting. Christmas tree lights are merely decorative. They're not like pot lights or something like that. So that the use normally carried out in such areas can be undertaken safely in accordance with the intended use of the area. Now, when it mentions areas such as that, I look at that and I say that that would be, in my mind, meant to be like an actual fixture on the outside of a building, like a lighting fixture that one would normally see, either a floodlight or a pot light under a under a roof or something like that, that it's not meant to cover Christmas tree lights. Now, I see Ms. McNeil has her hand up, so I'll let her interject.
Through the chair, I'm supportive of Mr. Davis's argument. I would say that his assessment is accurate, and I think this was, as you were complaint driven, this was a complaint for a set of lights that had been there for an extended period of time in disrepair, and I think the officer was trying to grasp at a section of the bylaw that we could apply to that. But I would agree 100% that section was not intended for Christmas tree or Christmas decorative lighting.
Okay.
I would support the request to have that stricken if the committee agrees with that.
Thank you. Brian and Mr. Assad? Mr. Assad? I think you're muted. Oh, perfect. I think we're all in agreement, so that we will have that area stricken. Proceeding. I don't think there's anything else. Is there anything else, Mr. Davis, that you wanted to bring up?
No, Madam Chair. The only thing that, I mean, obviously we brought our property into compliance.
Yeah.
The compliance date in the property standards order is indicated as September 1st. I believe that because of the appeal and because our property has been brought into compliance, that the date does not need to be updated or what have you. I just wanted to make sure of that piece, but other than that, we have no further issues. I think the matter has now been resolved.
Perfect. Thank you very much. So I think that's everything for this afternoon, and I appreciate everybody's time. We'll have that part stricken. Sarah will send written documentation after the meeting, and I think we're good. Thank you very
Does
much.
there need to be, my apologies, Madam Chair,
Yeah.
does there need to be a motion at all? I just ask, and perhaps Ms. Goldrup might be able to assist.
Through the chair, I am able to accept the committee's unanimous agreement to amend the decision, to amend the order and confirm the date of the decision as it was set. And as you said, Madam Chair, written correspondence will be circulated to the appellant. And if they have any further questions about that written documentation, they are welcome to contact me after the meeting.
Thank you. Thank you to the members of the committee. My apologies.
Thank you very much. So I hope everybody